will see in this session about the cloud security. So as such, just so especially in cloud security, we'll see what are the challenges and some risk areas on that. So on these topics, we'll especially see. And before that, I just like to just tell something about the clouds to all the participants. I know a lot of people may be already using it, but it is for those people, those have not come across with any kind of use of this facility. And as it's a small 2-3 slides, which I would like to share with all of you. Okay. So I don't know how I'll ask and get questions from the participants, but here my small simple question about the cloud. We are going to just see what is cloud is as such in general. So can I take question from users and understand how many of them are still using this cloud for hosting application or for some other way? Anyway, just to start with cloud, basically in simple word, we can see it's a basically delivery of your computing resources. Be it a server, be it a storage, database, any other service, software, analytics, whatever. You're getting all such resources over the internet, the cloud one, basically. So it's very simple to define cloud, and I am sure that people, some of them may be using cloud to host their applications, their office applications, using some servers, then storage and databases. If we really look at on the cloud, we'll see there are a lot of advantages, and if we see the characteristics of the cloud itself, we will see that it's a fully self-service kind of thing. Whereas on demand, you get everything through one portal and ask for any resources. There itself, you get your resources also. And other side, you can access your cloud using any kind of thick thin client, be it a workstation, laptop, tablets, even on over mobile also. So that's again a one beauty. Third thing, being see in traditional way, if you see how people were running the data center, therein people used to have a lot of resources and all got dedicated to the particular respective users or owners of that resources. Here, but on cloud, you are going to get keep them in a pool, all resources, and being and through cloud, it is made use by multiple users of that pool of resources. So other kind of advantage also we are going to get here over cloud, like data center also optimize the resources utilization. Other side, you also get some advantage that we'll discuss later. At the same time, you can, whatever you get on cloud, these resources can be provisioned and released at they can be scaled out at any moment, any time. And this is the main characteristics. And having that, you can work from anywhere for any time, and you don't have to depend on any of the body. So with minimal their intervention of the cloud service provider, you are able to carry out everything through online system. The like you have built-in metering and billing facility within the cloud, wherein you can come to know what all the services, what all the resources. You may be having a lot of resources over a period of time, but accumulated which you have got petrol. because it's a cloud wherein you pay and get something. But if it becomes lot in number and large in quantity, then what will happen? You will not be able to understand, see, and make out which one is not in use, and at least at that time it is not in use. So here you can see everything, and uh, and you can manage also. You can release the resources and save money also. So it's a fully characteristics makes this cloud useful. And today, most of the applications today are on cloud. Now, we'll slightly discuss how what are the type of cloud people find around. So because it's essential, because then after we'll during the discussion on security, we'll take this also in consideration, and you'll come to know which one suits to your requirement and suits to your organization. And at least we should know what all the clouds are there. So that way, I have just kept this slide about the modules. Basically, if you see, you'll find public cloud, well-known clouds like Amazon, Azure, Google. These are big clouds, and there are many more also. But these are many big clouds, and they are third-party clouds being provided by providers to all public, and it's like pay per use. What you pay and use this facility, and all public using these clouds. The second kind of category is like called private cloud. So it is something like wherein if you already have some facility with you, so you can start from your place only. If you have some small data center and you also like to have cloud within that, so it becomes a cloud setup which is for your own purpose, for your organization's use only, and comes in a private cloud category. And even though this private cloud kind of facility you also can avail through big cloud providers, therein also you can have dedicated setup for you. But mainly people keep private cloud wherein they convert their data center and create a cloud setup within that and make use of it further. So we had public, private, and there is a third category, hybrid cloud. So what happens, it's a combination of public and private cloud. And I'll tell you where you can use it. So as I told, you can have some facilities with you and you want to locally within your organization, you had something in the form of data center and you just have converted and now have private cloud within that. So you have the cloud, this private cloud, but your resources may be limited with you. And sometimes you like to have some more resources. So for that purpose, you can get connected with the public cloud. So once you get connected, then you can avail some resources from public cloud and all they work together as a one unit. And sometimes whenever load comes, workload comes, you can burst your requirement to public cloud. So this way they are going to be used, and this arrangement is called hybrid cloud. The last one is a community cloud. So you see, it's like when it says like collaborative effort in which infrastructure is shared between several organizations with the same from a specific community with common concern. So see, this like you may be having cloud for government, so it will come in that category. Like for research purpose, you can have people around of that community and with that concern, and they can have one cloud. So NIC like has one cloud which is basically community cloud, and it's for government requirements. So they basically have some common concern, like In government, you mainly like that only government people will use this cloud, and whatever security required uh, as of for that from certain from other guidelines, you try to impose that security. You like to have some security compliance kind of thing as per that requirement. So this kind of cloud comes becomes community cloud kind of. Okay. I don't know how I can get response from the participants, but I'm taking it like people are getting me. Now we are just moving further and trying to. Okay, thank you. I got one message. Oh, so here now it's the just now we have seen the deployment, the types of deployments in the cloud. Here we would like to see services in services point of view, how services get uh, divided inside uh, for cloud. So, like you must have heard about IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS services. So we'll see here how what all these services is like. They are the basic services, and every cloud is giving. So we have to just understand what is IaaS, what is PaaS things. Even though I know some of you may be using it, so you can correlate it. So for IaaS, it is called infrastructure as a service. So here, in this case, it's a very simple case wherein you ask simply that you ask from the cloud provider for some blank VM, basic VMs, means simple infra in terms of CPU, RAM, and storage or network. And then on top of that, uh, it's your choice how you deploy your applications. You yourself take care of operating system. You probably use ISO, then install those OS over the VMs, and then after create the setup, something like that. So it is a very basic service wherein you ask very basic thing and you build your setup. So it is called IaaS. Another one is platform as a service, yeah, PaaS service, wherein people get like apart from the compute and resources, uh, people get operating system also, some sort of even setup like for web creation of web server, database server, application server. That all kind of templates also you get from the cloud provider. And using that within a minute or in couple of minutes, you get all that kind of servers, things get deployed in your area. So in a first, there you don't ask anything. Only the cases when you yourself have some software which are very specific, and you already have got licenses also with that, be it operating system, along with the operating system, other software, and you want to just create yourself. So you can go for IaaS. Otherwise, PaaS is there where you get OS and other software also from the cloud provider. Third is a SaaS service, software as a service. So in a software as a service, wherein you don't have to even place anything, ask anything. You simply ask, this is a service. Like uh, like you all people have maybe using uh, mail service solutions like Google Apps and a lot of other services also. And you see, you are simply user. At the time, at the most you get registered, or otherwise, if it is paid, then you pay. Then only simply having you registered with some user ID password with your credentials, then you start using and you start pumping and downloading data based on that. Okay. So there are a lot of things. Analytics service also is a part of that. Like you like to do something on that, then you can avail AI services. A lot of services are part of SaaS services. There you don't have to do anything. simply you're going to get one account in that on that service. Okay. So here now I start uh, with the topic slightly towards the security. Okay. So I probably will come back to this slide because a point will come about the responsibility, ambiguity when I talk about the risk areas. Okay, so I'll come back to this slide. Now, if we see the security challenges, so you will find that not per se as a cloud. Otherwise, in general, most of those challenges will remain same, uh, whether you are in cloud, wherein you hand over everything to the third party service provider, or in a case where you have data center, but it is being maintained by third party. So some of the challenges will remain same. So here we will just, because I know it's a security session, so a lot of things you have already uh, have got discussed in past previous sessions, like data breaches. One common thing wherein unauthorized access to your data happens, and it could happen by anybody, any malicious user on the internet can be one, or a person from user organization using cloud, and you can also, or a person from cloud provider. Anyone can have unauthorized access to your data. That data breach is one of the security challenge. Measures, I think everybody knows on that. Secondly, the data loss, any theft, leakage, corruption, that all can happen. So uh, the solution on that is you have to just take care the backups. You have to take frequent backups of your data. That is the one solution. And for that, not only you have to take the backups, you have to sometimes verify also as and when. Because if you continue taking backup and you are not going to see what is going inside in your backup, whether it's going blank or not going, not fully or not complete, then again no use. So please let it get verified also. Similarly, other challenge authorization challenges. So again, your account can get hacked by any malicious user or got intercepted over the network. So this is a common security challenge. Here also applies. One challenge here comes from cloud part is poorly designed interface or APIs. This interface being provided by cloud provider to you. Okay, to you means cloud users. So here it should be designed properly and should be free from all known vulnerabilities. So that has to be taken care from the cloud provider side. All APIs and all interface, whatever they are providing to you. Because using that only, you are going to access your resources, creating your resources, automation, everything becomes part of that only. So this part has to be taken care. And DOS attack is a common thing and everybody knows. If your network gets flooded with useless network traffic, so what will happen? Network will get choked. Your ultimately servers also can get crashed. So this is the thing. Other challenge, the multi-tenancy, which is part of, which is basically the place in cloud where you usually use this because I told it's a resource pooling happens uh, uh, in cloud, and you have a lot of resources like at the backend, And these resources has to be shared by multiple users, multiple tenants, and all has to be then that has to be taken care. There should not be any chance that one thing get mixed up with other thing, whether it's in your data, your servers, or anything should not get mixed. So there should be proper isolation. Isolation at the level of your uh, network, then your machines also should be isolated. Users have separate virtual machines inside, so there should not any uh, anything goes wrong inside. And this is also part of the cloud management software being used inside. Okay. So these are the basic challenges, security challenges, and everyone has to take care of this. And some challenges are part of the cloud provider. And cloud provider is the responsibility of cloud provider to give you a good solution. Okay. So I'm just going further. So we are just now will discuss about the risk areas. So there are multiple points. Uh, so here is first is the uh, loss of governance. Obviously, because otherwise you had everything in your premises. You had the servers, you had your security, you have your uh, administration over that. But here, when it comes to cloud, in a lot of things you hand over basically to cloud. It necessarily goes to that kind of control goes to cloud. So it will definitely affect the security in number of issues, not such everything in number of issues. Like even you have SLA also with the cloud service provider. But commitment is the one thing I do know that will be going to be as such taken care by the provider. And similarly, like for example, like you like to uh, carry out the audit for your area. So probably cloud provider may not permit you. So that kind of things can also come in there. Secondly, the further when you take all your you start willing working on cloud and start using the services of cloud. So I'm just discussing about the various type of services inside the cloud, and you opt any of that or combination of that. So within that, you should know the responsibility. What is your responsibility and what is cloud service provider's responsibility? If you mix up, then it will create the ambiguity. So what is your responsibility and what is cloud service provider responsibility, that we can see. And for that, we'll refer the earlier slide. So I will go back to that slide now. So this was the slide in colored part and tabular part. You have to only just look at that. Okay. So here we're just talking about normal. On time you have a lot of things, like you have physical infra with you. Then on the top of that you have hypervisor, and then after you have network, operating system, application, and data, application data, user access. So this is what you have top to bottom, the setup in your hand. But once you go to with having cloud services and you go with the ER service, here you'll find that provider going to hand over things in the form of resources above the hypervisor here. Like blank VM, they will give it to you. Then after you use it, you put network on that, you put OS on that, then you have deploy application and data, and then you start access. And that mechanism also you create yourself inside the application. So in a ER's case, you have to carry out a lot of things. Okay. Now, if you move to PaaS, in PaaS, you will see that that you have to only once you are going to get from provider along with network, you have to now only take care of the application and data configuration and make work on it. Whereas in a SaaS case, you need not to bother and look at the server part and configuration part. It's a running application. And day one, you will find running, and you have to you are going to get only one access to start using it. Okay. So if you look at in first part, you have to carry out a lot of things and you have to keep on working on that part all the time. So it's your responsibility if there is some issue within the red part which falls on cloud user. Whereas hypervisor infra part has to be taken care by cloud provider. In the past, likely, then you have to take care the red part. And in SaaS, you simply use the application. You have to bother about the application and its performance. At the most, you can complain if you are not getting response on the given account and you are not getting reports and or seeing whatever is supposed to be to you. So there should not be any ambiguity on the responsibilities. And here we have to see we are sharing the responsibility, user is sharing the responsibility with the cloud service provider. Based on that, they have to work accordingly. It should not mix up. And it happens sometimes, and so clarity has to be from the beginning. Like third is isolation failure. So as we discussed that it is a cloud and a lot of things at the back being shared and by shared and there are multiple users. So that isolation part has to be properly taken care by the cloud. So they should use proper software and proper configuration with all testing. They have take care of this part. One more point comes is a vendor locking. So it happens like when you start using any cloud, even though the time when you you think for a cloud, you have to look at what are the services they are providing, and you also have to see the exit clause because it can't be, and you have to be ready with that. Because any cloud provider today giving you service tomorrow, if he is not in position to give you or continue with the service, then what will happen? You have to come back or you have to back to your own plan, or you have to shift to some other cloud provider. So interoperability point of view and switching over point of view, you should know what is there in exit place and how quickly you can move with minimal efforts. So you have to check it out. In what format you'll get data back? Will it be standard or some different way? Or even similarly, some all cloud providers, they comes up with their own services. If they have their own database, they will have their own format to use it and own features to use it. So at the time when you want to use their database, then you start using that features in your application coding also. So your application become dependent to that particular type of the facility given by the, which has come from the specific cloud provider. Tomorrow you want to shift, then what will happen? You have to slowly correct your application as per the new set. So, and data also, working, you have to see in what format you are going to get data back. Because after getting it, when you start service, probably it may be new. So you start whatever you get with that. But tomorrow, when you want to shift, then that time you may be having a lot of data got accumulated on that. So how it get ported, what all the facilities are there, formats are there, that you have to take. So that vendor locking, you have to just be aware on that part, and you try to have some contingency plan from the beginning and keep the caution. Handling of security incident also are not so easy. In a case when you are running, getting your application running on some other's cloud, in comparison to having your application inside your own data center, which is all under your control. So, because when something happens, security incident happens, you probably need logs also, all logs, system log, application log, audit log, all kind of log, then logs over the network, the perimeter security logs. So all component may be looking, like you may looking for log for various such kind of. If you have VPN, then VPN logs. So all are the services and being provided by the provider to you, and those are not within your hand. You can at least can maintain log of your application which are getting created, or system log which are in your system, but not above that. So handling incident also become different here, and probably that also. The visibility also, cloud providers, they don't make you to get more things more visible to you ultimately, because because it happens and they restrict you up to your area only, wherein you are using your data and configuration, not all. A management interface vulnerability, we already discussed the managing interface which is being provided by the cloud to any cloud user. So it's again a big application. So application again got written using some code. And I was saying OWASP is one kind of session you have already attended, wherein they have this a lot of vulnerabilities, and those all has to be get checked whenever you write any code. So all interfaces, all APIs, whatever they're going, everything a cloud provider should take care of it. Because if something happens, what will happen? If something get unauthorized access, they can reach to your area. They can do all other things. Okay. Yeah, there are more like that only, but these were many main security risks I have discussed here. Thank you. I am ready to take questions from you if you like to know anything on this. Please let me know.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Sir, yeah, are you done, sir?
Yeah, it's